Pop your collar and holler, y'all. I got great news for you. You're halfway through the week, but your most productive days are still ahead of you. I'm Matt Robinson.
And I'm Woody Woolman, and this is your Humpday Update,
where we are committed to showing you how to profit from a smart real estate business, which of course is
stress-free,
money and credit-free,
asset-free,
risk-free,
and tax-free investing strategies that work right now in this market.
That's right. And just out of curiosity, what the heck is that?
Chargers, baby! Going all the way!
Woo! Did you realize the Super Bowl was last Sunday?
Nah, dude, we're almost there. We're getting there. We're almost there.
Dude, you didn't even make the playoffs.
What are you talking about?
The season's over. Maybe next year, boss. Maybe next year. Well, anyway, the big news from last week was on Groundhog Day from our good friends at Gobbler's Knob.
This is pitiful. 1,000 people freezing their butts off waiting to worship a rat.
Hear ye, hear ye, hear ye. On Gobbler's Knob, on this beautiful Groundhog Day, February 2nd, 2011, he surveyed his surroundings carefully and found that there was no shadow around. So an early spring it will be!
Oh, you're back.
Yeah,
welcome. Anyway, for just the second time in the last 11 years, our good friend Punxsutawney Phil did not see his shadow. And this fact was also confirmed by our own furry friend, Mr. Humpday Harry. So while those experiencing extreme cold and blizzard-like conditions from Dallas all the way to New England probably don't believe us, according to Phil and Harry here, an early spring is on its way.
That's right, and that means the spring buying season is also not too far away. Spring's notorious for bringing the buyers out of hibernation and back into the buying mode. So there's never been a better time than now to start implementing a strong marketing plan to make sure that the inventory you have for sale is front and center in their minds.
Now, Woody and I, for those of you who know us, are chronic optimists.
That's right.
And so we've stayed upbeat and we found a niche to thrive in during the recession.
Yes, we did.
However, there's also some very good economic news indicating that Punxsutawney Phil and Humpday Harry aren't the only ones seeing a turning point in our future. There are plenty of reasons to believe that beginning this year, we could start witnessing a major rebound in both the housing market and the overall economy.
Yeah, and point number one to this is according to Clear Capital Home Price Index, home prices stopped declining in early January and even increased for the first time since August. Clear Capital reported that 13 of the highest performing markets posted gains over the last 3 months, with the biggest gains coming in Cleveland and Dayton, Ohio,
My birthplace.
at 9.6%.
Point number two, there were only 415,000 initial jobless claims filed for the week ending January 29th. And though this is still a large number, it was down 42,000 from the week before and was 10,000 less than analysts predicted. Add to that the fact that the overall unemployment rate dropped another 0.4% to 9% even. We here at the Humpday Update are what we like to call cautiously optimistic.
Point number three, last week folks from the real estate sales and data site Zillow said they had 15.7 million unique monthly visitors in January. While that's still just shade below the amount of traffic we have here at the HumpdayUpdate.com, it's still pretty darn good. And not to mention 75% higher than the same period last year. Zillow CEO Mr. Spencer Raskoff stated that much of the increase was due to, and I quote, more people starting to show interest in real estate.
That's fantastic. And lastly, point number four, according to Thomson Reuters, the retail sector reported same-store sales growth of 4.2% on average, which far outweighed analysts' estimates of just 2.7%. Limited, the parent company of Victoria's Secret and Bath & Body Works, reported January sales surged 24%, much of which is attributed to my wife. And with Valentine's Day rolling around the corner, I would venture to guess that Victoria's Secret will probably have a pretty decent February as well.
Well, by themselves, these news stories may not pack that big of a punch, but when you put them all together, it's starting to paint a picture of a very real, plausible recovery for the next coming weeks and into the months. And as professionals in the real estate industry, we need to position ourselves with a strategic business plan and a strong marketing presence so we can ride this wave as it begins to take off.
That's right. Now, of course, we want to season all this optimism with a sprinkle of realism as well, and there are certainly some numbers that we need to keep a careful eye on. Most industry experts still expect somewhere in the neighborhood of 1.2 million foreclosures in 2011, which would not only be a record, Woody, but would also be 20% increase over last year's record of just over 1 million. And with only 30% of the current foreclosures on the market, there's another 70% of the shadow inventory yet to be released onto the market, and the impact of that's still unclear.
As mentioned in the last week's episode, there are some so-called industry experts who think that the unreleased inventory should be rushed out into the market. To hear our opinion, check out last week's Hump Day update by clicking right down there. In our Hump Day consumer warning segment this week, a recent news story has revealed that drug addicts are now posing as home buyers to steal prescription drugs from houses for sale.
Ridiculous.
Real estate agents, investors, or homeowners who are allowing prospective buyers to walk through their homes should empty out their cabinets of any medicines or keep them in a locked container. Detective Dennis Lucan, Vice President of National Association of Drug Diversion Investigators, there is this, says that you should guard your medicine with the same scrutiny you would guard your wallet or your credit cards.
Yeah, well, that may be his advice, but this is what I got to say.
You don't have to come and confess. We're looking for you. We gon' find you. We gon' find you so you can run and tell that. Run and tell that. Run and tell that. Homeboy, homeboy.
That's funny. That's all for this week, but remember, to get our Hump Day update emailed to you as soon as it's posted, make sure you subscribe by clicking that green button right down there.
And post this video to your Facebook.
Forward it to all your friends.
And from all of us here at the Hump Day Update crew, we hope you have a productive and prosperous end to your week. And remember,
finish strong.
And hide your Sudafed too.
Go Chargers!